A statement by you which reads, "I engaged in sexual intercourse with," her initials, "while I was employed as a teacher at the school she attended. At the time she was 16 years old and I was 37 years old. Did this happen in Spokane?"
Yes, Your Honor.
A Meade High School teacher admitted in court today that he had sex with a student. Wesley Perez pleaded guilty to sexual misconduct with a minor. Thanks for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy. That 37-year-old initially pleaded not guilty in June of last year. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was in the courtroom today when the teacher changed his plea.
About a year ago, detectives began investigating Meade High School Spanish teacher Wesley Perez for having a sexual relationship with a student. Court documents say the two met at a camp, and an anonymous letter to the school's principal is what prompted the investigation. In May last year, Wesley Perez was charged with sexual misconduct with a minor and communication with a minor for immoral purposes. He initially pleaded not guilty to those charges. Today, he admitted to having a sexual relationship with the student. But as part of the plea deal, the state dismissed the second charge of communicating with a minor.
A statement by you which reads, "I engaged in sexual intercourse with," her initials, "while I was employed as a teacher at the school she attended. At the time she was 16 years old and I was 37 years old. Did this happen in Spokane?"
Yes, Your Honor.
In an interview with detectives, the victim said she and Perez exchanged phone numbers and Snapchat information when they met at a leadership camp. The anonymous letter sent to the school principal about the relationship alleged the two would meet in his classroom before and after school, but eventually another teacher confronted him about their visits. According to court documents, Perez told the student to deny everything about their relationship. He even told her he would go down fighting if they were discovered.
Did you make this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Moreno said the maximum penalty for the crime is 5 years in prison. Perez will remain in custody until his sentencing on June 28th. He's been on administrative leave from Meade High School since April 24th last year. We reached out to the Meade School District to confirm how his employment status will change, but have not yet heard back. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, this next story may sound like something out of a movie, but one Spokane woman says, yep, it really happened.
Yeah, she claims that someone broke into her house and then sold her belongings at a yard sale, all on her front lawn. Mark Hanrahan joins us in the studio with more on this bizarre story.
It is bizarre indeed. It happened in North Spokane. Karen Fournier is the founder of Covenant Homes and Resources. It's a nonprofit that provides housing for pregnant teens. Well, Fournier bought this home for the charity. Right now, it's acting as a storage unit to house donated goods. The Spokane woman says she was driving by the house and noticed a yard sale sign. She quickly realized it was a yard sale for her house. Fournier thinks a group of people broke into the home, rearranged the items, and then hosted a yard sale to make some money off of those items. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley spoke with the woman. She'll have much more on this story coming up in our next half hour. Back to you guys.
Unreal, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, most of us know 7-Eleven stores for its Slurpees and its big gulps, but the convenience store giant has another claim to fame. It is the nation's largest retailer of tobacco products.
Yeah, and some of that tobacco is ending up in the hands of minors through illegal sales. Kyle Aboshi with our Portland sister station has been looking into this problem for some time now.
Watch closely. This is an undercover sting. The 18-year-old decoy, working with Oregon State Police, is able to buy tobacco from a 7-Eleven store in Hillsboro, even though the legal age is 21. The clerk got a citation.
She checked your ID,
Yeah.
but still sold you tobacco?
Yep.
The nation's largest convenience store chain, 7-Eleven, has a problem: the illegal sale of tobacco products to kids. Undercover inspectors caught 1 in 4 7-Eleven stores nationwide, or 25%, selling tobacco to minors, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In an April letter to the company, the agency wrote, "These illegal sales must stop." The convenience store chain is in a uniquely powerful position to help protect children from the dangers of tobacco products, say health officials. 7-Eleven is the nation's largest retailer of tobacco products, with stores conveniently located in neighborhoods and near schools.
They represent a very large part of the market share.
of folks who are moving tobacco products in our community. So just on sheer volume, we depend very heavily on those big retailers to understand this and to kind of manage to that level of responsibility.
Federal records show 7-Eleven stores have racked up more than 2,300 violations nationwide since 2010 for illegal tobacco sales to minors, resulting in warning letters and fines. Last year, this store in Southwest Portland was caught selling tobacco to minors on 4 different occasions during a 9-month period. The franchisee wasn't available for comment. In 2005, 7-Eleven promised to make changes as part of a court-approved agreement with the attorneys general of 40 states, including Oregon. As part of the agreement, 7-Eleven promised strict new policies, including checking ID for anyone buying tobacco if they appear to be under 27, matching the current federal requirement.
Y'all set?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
We decided to test this policy with a 21-year-old college student. She went into a 7-Eleven in Portland to buy cigarettes. Remember, the FDA requires the clerk check ID for anyone under 27 years old.
Looks like they sold you some cigarettes.
Yep.
Did they check your ID?
No,
They didn't check it.
they did not check my ID.
Health officials believe combating the illegal sales of tobacco has taken on greater urgency because e-cigarette use among teenagers has skyrocketed at a rate of epidemic proportions.
The vast majority of smokers started by age 18 and almost all by age 26. So we know that this is something that people pick up in young adulthood and in adolescence.
The FDA has warned 7-Eleven that changes need to be made. Paying fines and penalties for the illegal sales of tobacco to minors should not be viewed as a cost of doing business. The stakes are too high.
So what does 7-Eleven have to say about all this? The franchise owners and managers, well, they referred our Portland sister station to the corporate office.
So Kyle sent 4 emails and then tried calling 7-Eleven, but corporate communications never responded for comment. In other news, there is a new measles case in Washington state. The Tacoma Pierce County Health Department says a man in his 40s has the virus now.
So this case is not the only one to pop up this week. 75 more cases have been reported nationwide. Whitney Ward joins us in the studio with more on this measles spike and if it shows any signs of slowing. Whitney.
Good afternoon. Yeah, there are actually several potential exposure sites over on the west side, one of them being SeaTac International Airport. Health experts believe that man visited a number of locations between May 6th and May 11th. So if you visited Western Washington during that time, we do have a list of possible exposure sites on our website. Just go to KREM.com. And we do want to mention that this case is not connected to the other Washington measles cases down near Vancouver that were reported in late April. In the meantime, the CDC did release a weekly measles report today, and it shows the number of reported cases nationwide jumped by 75 just in the last week. That now pushes the total to 839 cases across 23 states. The most in the U.S. since 1994. Now, most of the new cases are in New York City. However, other outbreaks are linked to travelers bringing measles back from other countries. So experts with the CDC continue to stress the importance of vaccinations. Some lawmakers are standing behind that recommendation, while others are not. For example, Washington Governor Jay Inslee signed a bill just last week to tighten the restrictions on vaccine exemptions. On the other hand, though, Texas State Representative Jonathan Stickland spoke out against vaccines. He called them sorcery in a social media post, claiming that vaccines can be dangerous. Now, whether you believe in vaccines or not, if you think you may have the measles or you may have been exposed, then you are urged to call a doctor immediately. And this is important. You want to call them first before you actually go into the hospital or your doctor's office. That way you don't risk exposing anyone else. Tom, Jane.
Whitney, thank you for that update. Turning our attention to the forecast now. Wow, what a
know.
lovely weekend. And you also, your forecast verified.
Yes,
it
thank
was
goodness.
breezy yesterday too.
Yeah, it was breezy, but still a great day for mom and all the moms out there. So we hope you had a beautiful Mother's Day weekend. We still have some comfortable temperatures outside. We're at 71 degrees right now in the Spokane area. The winds are calm. You can see the barometric pressure right now is holding steady. And this is a live look downtown. You can see we've got some of those high clouds clouds now across the area. So look for an overnight low of 52 degrees. We'll continue to see the mostly cloudy skies. 72 expected tomorrow. We're going to continue on a kind of a downward trend to more seasonal temperatures, which we will see this weekend. 67 on Saturday, also 67 degrees on Sunday. Got a slight chance of rain both of those days. And again, those are the average high for this time of year. And generally speaking, we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies over the weekend.
All right, we knew average would come back.
That's right. It needed to, but we'll get back into those 70s and 80s later on.
We like our lawns watered a little longer.
Yes, that's for sure.
All right, Tom, thank you. And they are back in action. We are talking about the Lime bikes and scooters back on the streets of Spokane now.
So before you hop on one of them, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. First, know where you're riding. You can ride anywhere in Spokane, but if you're downtown, you can only ride on bike paths or in the street. If you're on a street outside of downtown and the speed limit is higher than 30 miles per hour, then you can ride on the sidewalk.
And pay attention to your speed. The scooters actually can reach speeds of up to 18 miles per hour, but that does not mean you can always go that fast. For example, scooters are limited to 7 miles per hour in Riverfront Park downtown. So the speed will slowly start to decrease to 7 miles per hour as you approach the park. You'll try and go faster, but you can't. So as far as safety goes as well, helmets are not required, but they're strongly encouraged. City leaders are working with Lime now to set up some helmet stations.
So if you do plan on renting a device, bikes and scooters cost $1 to unlock, and then it's 25 cents for each minute that you're riding. Keep in mind, you have to be at least 18 years old to ride.
Fun stuff.